Hey there, you, me, and DC fans, and welcome if you are new. I am the stepson of Krypton, coming to you today with Justice League Unlimited issue number 11. Now, I know this is the issue that Mantis and I normally do together. However, he is currently on vacation. We wanted to get this issue out to you as fast as possible. As well, I kind of want to see how you guys feel about it just being a solo person doing this issue. That way, the content comes to you a little faster and it's not quite as long a video. So, with that in mind, I don't want to waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get on into the issue. All right, guys. So, issue number 11 wastes no time in getting right back to where we left off. Parademons have gestated out of this semi intelligent parademon prisoner that we had, and they're trying to kill Mr. Terrific. But luckily for him, he's got some balls. His T spheres. Quick to grow to full size, they're now just tearing through the watchtower as Terrific frantically tries to call a priority one alert, but he's not getting much of a response. And that's because the rest of the leaguers on the watchtower are dealing with the time trapper issue and his automated defenses that it's literally rapidly speeding up time within this bubble to the point it's disintegrating all matter in it, and the bubble is expanding. Flash is quick to relay that information to Terrific, pointing out that, this is occurring aboard a space station, right? I think you kind of tend to forget that, hull integrity is a little important. Even Red Tornado cannot call in other Justice League members as the disintegration of the infrastructure has rendered the boom tubes offline. So it looks like our heroes are on their own. We then flash, no pun intended, over to Markovia, where we see Power Girl and the team that had encountered that large hand coming up out of the Earth's crust within the pit. And we now get to see who the attackers are. And oddly enough, they're members of the Legion of Superheroes. Now, it references in there Justice League Dark Tomorrow Special Number One, where we find out that is an evil version of the Legion of Superheroes that is trying to kill our time traveling heroes. Now, I say that you read the whole issue, there's like towards the very last two pages, there's one little line of dialogue that says it's the basically evil version of the Legion of Superheroes. So, and then for those of you who don't know, so the large hand coming out, that's Colossal Boy. And then obviously we have Element Lad attacking Captain Atom. And of course, then see Saturn Girl, and suddenly we're on Krypton, which is obviously just a mental distraction by Saturn Girl that Power Girl sees right through as she punches her right in the face. And then we can clearly see the Omega symbol on Element Lad's chest, indicating they obviously are part of this group that controls the Omega demons that we did see in the Justice League Dark issue. So we go back to the Watchtower, Metamorpho, with the help of Dr. Calder. So if you remember in the previous issue, Martian Manhunter is psychically linking Dr. Calder to Metamorpho because he is an expert in xenobiology, and they're working to understand and repair the damage to Time Trapper, but his physiology obviously isn't like normal, well, most any other normal being. So Flash, though, and John, we've got Star Sapphire and Steel, they're working to keep the Watchtower from falling apart, even going so far as to cannibalize other parts of the station. So while working to kind of keep the station intact, we see Steel's helmet get impacted and it cracks open, exposing her to space. Now, let's talk about this for a moment. What happens if you are actually exposed to space? Keep in mind, Steel is a normal person inside an advanced suit. Obviously, you're going to lose consciousness due to lack of oxygen because oxygen, and you're in a vacuum, which then would also kind of force most, if not all, of the air out of your body, allowing you not to be able to hold your breath. And then without pressure, the boiling point for the fluids within your body, they drop below your body temperature, meaning that the moisture in your eyes and mouth and surface of your skin would instantly boil, causing severe burns. Not long afterwards, the fluid in your body would also begin to boil, causing swelling and ruptures. Not a really, really fun time. You probably got 15 to 20 seconds to get covered. So, Star Sapphire luckily is out there and is able to encase her in a bubble. But now they're trying to work out even if they still have a med bay at this point to take Steel 2. The tornado begins to reroute some power, but he is, of course, quickly interrupted by a horde of and parademons, causing even more critical damage, like we didn't have enough. Back in Markovia, however, the team does escape the evil legion with the help of Geoforce, increasing their personal gravity, making them weigh like a ton each. Now, to be fair, I think Colossal Boy was probably already weighing more than that given his size, but he is increasing, probably making him weigh even more. And so they seem to no longer be an issue. However, kind of in a fit of rage, and we kind of see him almost like a crazed look on his face, Captain Adam tries to rush back down there to continue the fight. He is immediately chained up, quite literally, as Ketios grabs him with his chains, and they all start to kind of realize that there's this dark energy coming from down in the pit and it's calling to them. They need to inform the rest of the Justice League about what's going on here. So Terrific's there. He's running around. He's trying to get some power restored to the station because the lights have now gone off. And suddenly, parademons break through the wall and begin to attack. I think it's about time we release that arsenal. We then see a horde of weaponry coming out of the watchtower, and he begins fighting back against the mindless demons when suddenly one of them kind of grabs one of the weapons and turns it against him. He starts to think maybe they aren't so mindless. We go back to the surgery room, and even Metamorpho is feeling the effects from Time Trapper's defenses, which is surprising when you think about, you know, a lot of him is carbon and the decay of carbon. If you remember previous issue, we had said that, you know, he's made up of elements and most of them do not decay, or at least do not decay anywhere near the speed of normal humans. So, like carbon, for instance, because it mentions it, in soil probably breaks down in a few hours to a couple of days. Like, carbon 14, which is its radioactive variant, takes about 5,730 years to break down. Carbon in the atmosphere, CO2, can take thousands, if not tens of thousands of years to break down. And then, of course, carbon in the rocks and sediment, which is, your future diamonds if put under enough pressure, can take a couple 100 million years to break down. So it seems like time is accelerating quite quickly within this bubble. Luckily for us, though, Mr. Terrific seems like he has a plan to help everybody, but he's going to need the Flash. So Terrific has the idea. However, it's not clear if the hull is going to withstand it. To be fair, the hull is already kind of compromised. And then, boom, we see the jolt of electricity coming out from Flash, and he starts using his whirlwind speed to push the parademons into the field that Time Trapper is creating, causing them to instantly be killed. Just then, luckily for us, Time Trapper wakes up, and it's seeming like everything's starting to stabilize, at least for a minute. Now they can kind of take stock of the situation and figure out their next problem. So it seems like Time Trapper has repaired the station, or maybe, not say repaired it, but, moved it through time to the point of where it was fixed again. However, the damage to Metamorpho and Steel is still there. So the question looms, why has Time Trapper come here? He says to deliver a message that apparently would have been delivered in about 4.2 more seconds. I don't know maybe if this was all worth it or not. And that is the Omega level alert. All Justice League members come to the Watchtower, and we see a beaten Superman and an even worse off Booster Gold. But we are going to have to read Justice League, the Omega Act Special #1 to find out more about that. It should be out in October. Guys, we may or we may not actually do a video to that one. But that is where this issue ends. All right, guys, that is going to do it for us on issue number 11. Getting really good. I liked in this issue that we only really kind of went back and forth to two different places, and so we were able to kind of focus on one main problem. I know previous issues of Justice League Unlimited have been a little chaotic, and people have kind of not liked how from literally page to page we jump from new crisis to new crisis. So I enjoyed a little more of the stability of this one, because it was just really these two areas and these two problems leading to, we know there's going to be some kind of buildup. Obviously, we have the new DC KO getting ready to come out as well. So let me know down in the comments, guys. What did you think about this issue? Did you like it? Did you think it was better than the other ones as well? How did you feel about just one person bringing you the video? I see over my time here, we're doing very, very well, similar to our Absolute series, which is much shorter, more condensed content. Did you like that? If you did, let me know down in the comments. While you're doing that, might as well go ahead and give the video a like, subscribe into the channel, and click on your bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of the stuff that we have coming out in not only the Absolute, Justice League Unlimited, any new series we start, as well as everything we have going on in the DCU in James Gunn's world. Guys, because this is burning my eyeballs so bad without my glasses on, that is going to wrap it for us on this issue of You, Me, and DC. Until next time, guys, I'll see you then.